Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So today I have another pen unboxing, shock horror, but this is another pen that I have looked at since it was announced, and I thought that I would like to try and add it to my collection. It's not a cheap pen, but it is a stunning pen, and for a number of reasons. And so I wanted to see if I could get hold of this, and I did get a fairly good price on it, and that kind of made it worth my while. So if you're into some of the Grail pens like I am, then it's certainly worthwhile to try and check it out. So I got this pen from Chris at Truffet. As I said, Chris did me a pretty good deal on this pen, but it's not cheap. So contact Chris if you would be interested in this pen. So this pen is it's a Visconti, obviously, but this pen is the Medici Il Magnifico. Now, this pen comes in a much smaller size box than a lot of the Viscontis priced around this price range come in. Like normally they come in very large, oversized leather boxes, heavy boxes. Now, this box is actually still quite heavy. This has a metal insert here. I don't know if this is silver. I kind of want to think it probably is, but I don't know for sure. It does have some sort of like antiqueness sort of style sort of marks on the box, and there's a reason for that when I show you the pen. So this lid lifts off, and it has like a glass. It's almost like a glass. It is a glass. Viewing window here. So if I move that out of the way, and here you can see the pen. Now, if I first of all let me remove the pen, and I'll show you inside. You get your standard international warranty card from Visconti, and this, as I say, Visconti guarantees the product against defects in workmanship and materials as indicated in the warranty section of the website. Now, I think recently, they don't say on here, but I think they reduced the warranty from 5 years down to 3 years in the last couple of years. So that's just something to bear in mind. And then also there is the card there, the ID and serial number. So I got number 91 of 188. Yes, there is only 188 of these pens made, so there is a fairly limited edition. Now, as you can see here, the pen is 23 carat palladium Dream Touch nib. The pen is made of marble and AG925, which is silver. So it's also a power filler as well. So it's actually pretty much like most of the newer pens, like the Homo sapiens, the Opera Master. So let me bring the pen back, and I'll show you this. If I just zoom in a little bit more. So this is the Medici Il Magnifico. Now, this is a very heavy pen. It's heavier than an Opera Master. It's quite exquisite. You can see here, like the whole cap is made of silver, and it's an aged look, sort of silver. Comes with a standard Visconti bridge clip there with enameling. It's not laser engraved, but that is a really stunning sort of pattern as well that they have on here. And I believe that is the Medici coat of arms, perhaps. I want to believe that is Medici. But it's a lovely pen, and the rest of the pen, the barrel, and the whole pen is made of marble. And that is a very, very stunning marble. So bring a some more light in, you can see there the grain effect on that marble is really, really quite exquisite. So, and then working its way up to the end cap, or the piston knob, the power vac knob, you actually have, again, the same sort of Medici there, and then you can see the engraving there of the limited edition pen. So that, let's zoom in a little bit. You can see it's 188, 91 of 188. So it's a lovely, lovely pen. Just see the material. It's quite stunning there. So this was a pen that I wanted to try and add to my collection if I could, and I'm glad that I have. I do like heavy pens. I do like the Opera Masters, around 60 grams, fully capped when inked. This one, it has the standard hook safe lock. I'll show you that here. That most Viscontis actually come with. The hook safe engraving there, or the channeling, is very, very smooth. You can see there in the silver. This is a silver section. Now, this is something that did worry me, that I have had a chrome section Visconti Rust recently, or chrome plated I should say, and that was on a cheaper Visconti. So having a silver section, although it shouldn't in theory rust, it does concern me a little bit. But I'm starting to prefer the more the celluloid sections in pens. But that said, I've not had any problems with my Opera Masters that have like a metal or chrome section. My watermark either, like they have all been perfectly fine. And this comes with a 23 carat nib. I would have liked to have got either a broad or a stub nib on this, but unfortunately we couldn't get one. But I actually do like this nib though, and I'll show you why in the writing sample. It is really, really well. So it's a lovely, lovely pen, and I do like it. It's in terms of size in the hand, you can see there. It's actually quite long in my hand. Not that I would want to really, but you can post it. But I'm not sure that I'd want to, because again, it's way, way oversized. Plus, I wouldn't want to scratch the silver too much. Although it might add a little bit more of an aged look to it, I'd rather not do that. So, but it is a very long pen. It's not the largest pen in my collection, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But this cap is extremely heavy, and I'll show you that. Let's do some size comparisons, shall we? Actually, let me bring that back and I'll put it on here. It might be a bit easier to do here. In terms of size, the overall pen, we're looking at 148 millimeters. The cap itself is about 62 millimeters long. And then if I uncap the pen, and then that's 134 millimeters. So it's a reasonably sized pen. It's in the oversized category. Now, the section for me is about right. If you are somebody that holds the pen more up on the threads, you will feel this a little bit, because these are metal or silver, and the hook safe lock channels here are, I wouldn't say sharp, but you will feel them if you do hold the pen up higher like this when you write. But let me do a weight comparison as well, so you can see that. So the entire weight of the pen, inked up. Bear in mind this is a power vac, so it's holding around 2 to 2.5 milliliters of ink. You're looking at 82.5 grams. That is a weighty pen. Now, of that 82.5 grams, the cap is 35 or 34 grams. And then the pen itself, you're looking at nearly 49 grams. So this isn't a light pen by any stretch of the imagination. But for me, I find large pens or heavy pens actually work better for me. And I kind of find that I'm not a light writer, but I'm not a heavy writer. But I tend to find with a heavier pen, I tend to write lighter with it because I have the weight of the pen. But this pen is really exquisite, and I really do like this pen. So let's bring in and do a size comparison, shall we? So I have a tray of pens here. Now, from left to right, we have the Pelikan M600 turquoise white, the Pelikan M800 royal gold Rawdon. We have the Conway Stewart red Stardust. We have a Classic Pens LM1. We have a Classic Pens or Lambrou Pens LB5. This is in the Kawasaki brown finish. We have the Medici Il Magnifico. We have a Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog. We have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra. We have a Visconti Opera Master River Thames. And we have a Lamy Lux or LX. This is the same size as a Lamy Safari or a Lamy All-Star. It's just in a gold trim and gold body. So you can see here, in terms of length, it's actually pretty much identical in terms of length to the Visconti Homo Sapiens London Fog and other Homo Sapiens pens from Visconti. So it's not a long pen, it's in the oversized category for sure. But it's not as long as some pens like the ASC Bologna Extra, for instance. So, but it does have a little bit more girth. It is a faceted pen. It's not round, and I do tend to like facets more on a pen lately. I think it shows off the material a little bit better. So this for me is a really, really nice pen, and if you want to try and pick one up, there are a number of retailers that do stock this. It is a new pen. It is limited to 188. So just bear in mind that these are not going to stick around for that long. When they're gone, they're gone. You will then probably only be able to pick them up on the second-hand market. They may be inked, they may not be inked or used, but you need to bear that in mind. So I tend to have the FOMO, the fear of missing out. So when I see a pen that comes out that has a really low limited edition run, then I will try and pick it up as soon as I can, because I do know that some of these pens will sell very quickly. Now, bearing in mind this is not a cheap pen, so that normally means that the pens may not sell as quickly and sell out, but still, if you're on the fence or you really want to think about adding this to your collection, I would do it sooner rather than later. Now, I think what we'll do next, let's do a writing sample so you can see this pen write. So let me zoom in a little bit. So this is the Visconti Il Magnifico, and it's a 23 cat palladium nib. So let's try this. Visconti Il Magnifico. It's always difficult trying to write when you're talking at the same time. And this is a medium 23 carat. I'm just going to put palladium nib. Now the ink, I have this inked up with Visconti Bordeaux. It's a red ink, and I think you can probably see here it's actually quite wet. But so here are some just standard line variations under no pressure, and here's if I add a little bit more pressure, you can kind of see the difference here. Now I'm not going to try and push this nib too hard, because at the end of the day I really do not want to push these nibs. But as you can see though, this is actually quite a nice writer. It's not one of my most bounciest 23 carat nibs, but it's not one of my stiffest either. So it's about middle of the range. Now in terms of wetness, let me do a wetness test so you can see. Now Visconti inks are not overly wet, so I still think that's quite a wet nib though. There you go. So it's for me it's a lovely weight pen. It writes very well. I guess in terms of it will write reverse. It's a little scratchy. I personally wouldn't want to write reverse normally, but you can see that this takes it down from a medium to probably an extra fine. But it's a stunning pen, and I'm glad I was able to add this to my collection, and I'm glad Chris was able to come through with a good deal for me. So thanks for watching this video, this unboxing and review of the Visconti Il Magnifico, and please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye. I purchased this pen from Chris at Truffet Ink. You can get this pen from any reseller that sells these pens. If you want a good deal, contact Chris at truffetink.com. Tell him Penultimate Dave sent you, and I'm sure he'll do you a good deal.